Good morning. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out here today on this beautiful Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen? We are here to talk some free agency frenzy. What's going on? I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got a good amount of people coming in here. Appreciate you guys. Definitely come through before. If you guys can do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video. When you're coming through, just smack it up. Let's see if we can go ahead and run this up to, let's say, 30 plus. Let's shoot for something small. Also, one other thing I have to go ahead and say, this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF for an opportunity to get your deposit matched up to $100. Download the app today and use promo code AZSF and try to win some money with a 5-man lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started here today. Tomorrow is the start of the tampering period for the NFL free agency frenzy, and we got a lot to talk about here today. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Illadre, we got Jeffrey, we got Smallisk, Michael, Julian B, the same damn bub, Eric Lee. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hector, I see you up there as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's dive right into it. We got a lot to talk about here today. We got a lot to dive right into because tomorrow is the official start of the tampering period between the NFL and the unrestricted free agents slash restricted free agents here for the Arizona Cardinals or the NFL just in general. Now, granted, yes, the actual date from the new year when they're actually able to sign like pen to paper is Wednesday. So yes, don't get confused. Monday is the official tampering period. So we can start hearing news Monday or maybe even Tuesday for people that the Cardinals can possibly sign or people that we can retain or I'm sorry, but the official pen to paper is actually going to be on Wednesday. That's when the new year is going to start for the NFL. So don't get it twisted. Yes, it starts off on Wednesday technically, but the tampering period, legal period is going to start Monday and Tuesday. So we'll definitely hear some news for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. So I'm really excited. Obviously, we got some people to kind of make some big decisions about as well, right? Byron Murphy as well as Zach Allen. And as of right now, like we haven't heard anything. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we haven't heard anything from Zach Allen or Byron Murphy. To me, this kind of is the start of maybe, I don't know if it's going to work out, to be honest with you. Now, I'm going to try to be as optimistic as I possibly can, but I truly do think that they might want to test out free agency to see who is going to be the best team that's going to be able to give them the amount of money that they want, right? That's what Christian Kirk went out and did, and he bet on himself, and it worked out for Christian Kirk. So obviously nothing but good things to say about Christian Kirk, and he's having a really, really good career within the Jacksonville Jaguars as of right now. But right now the Cardinals have a big decision to make: Byron Murphy or Zach Allen. Right now, as of right now, we have made some moves. We did release Marcus Golden, which is one of the last people that we released to try to create more cap space. As of right now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting with about $34 million in cap. Now, I've been one of the top people to say, well, not the top, but I've been one of the first people to say that the cap is a myth, right? It is. It is an absolute myth. Now, you can spend as much as you absolutely want to spend as long as Michael Bidwell wants to spend. Let's be honest here. The contracts are able to be restructured. The contracts are able to be renegotiated. The contracts are able to be front loaded, so it doesn't hurt the cap as much. So if Michael Bidwell wants to spend, we can very well spend, but obviously it's Michael Bidwell's money, and we need to kind of figure out what we're gonna do. But obviously, the two biggest players we got to talk about is Byron Murphy as well as Zach Allen. Now, if I were to ask you guys in the comments, if you were have to pick one, and I mean one person out there that you're gonna want to choose one or the other, who is going to be Zach Allen or Byron Murphy? Now, I know the simple question or the simple answer is going to be, I want them both. Yeah, I get that. But realistically, there's so many holes. There's so many holes on this Arizona Cardinal roster. So many. And I don't know if we're going to be able to bring back both of them. Now, yes, we actually can bring them both back, but we're going to be left with little to no cap space. Cornerbacks right now, the top tier cornerbacks, I believe Jalen Ramsey, the last time I looked, he's making around $20 to $21 million per year. Now, I'm not saying Byron Murphy's going to go get that amount of money. No way in heck Byron Murphy's going to get that money. He's been hurt, but he's going to get a good amount. If I were to put a guesstimation, maybe anywhere between $15 to $17 million a year is what Byron Murphy's going to get. Definitely not Jalen Ramsey type of money, but that's still a good chunk, right? We only have $34 million, which actually sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, when you sign these big players, it kind of goes like that. Now, defensive linemen, kind of the same thing with that. The top tier defensive lineman that's getting paid is going to be Aaron Donald. Zach Allen is not getting Aaron Donald money. I think Aaron Donald is getting like $30 million per year. He's at the top of the market, and I mean the tippy top. He might be the only one making $30 million. Obviously, we all know Aaron Donald. He's at the very top. When I was looking at all the other defensive lineman contracts, they're all around the 18 to 21, $22 million. Maybe Zach Allen will get that. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards maybe 17 to 18. I do like Zach Allen. And I'm not going to sit here and try to ask these two players to ask for a hometown discount, because let's be honest, these players have an opportunity to change their lives, right, for their family, for their livelihood, for their future, for the security. And it would be very selfish for any fan to go out there and say, Byron Murphy, right, get a hometown discount. This is his time to cash in, as well as Zach Allen. This is his time to cash in. So if I were to kind of put a guesstimation on Byron Murphy, I would say maybe anywhere between 15 to 17 mil a year. And then Zach Allen on the other side, being that we have the top defensive lineman getting paid around 20, 21, I would say Zach Allen is going to maybe get 17, 18, maybe 19. Sometimes it's not really up to what we feel like. It's really up to the market. And if Zach Allen truly gets 20 and the Cardinals aren't really willing to give him 20, then obviously Zach Allen's going to find himself in a different team. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got some people in the chat here. I did ask you guys a question. Who would you guys rather have, Zach Allen or Murphy? We got Murphy easy. We got Allen easy. We got Zach Allen. We have somebody saying neither, Byron Murphy. So somebody says let them both walk. That's fair. And that's fair, right? Honestly, when we're looking at both of these players, we do know that they have the potential, and I'm going to be very, very specific here. They have the potential to be staple points in our young defense, right? They have the potential to be young staple points in our defense. Byron Murphy as well as Zach Allen. Now, to me, Byron Murphy has a little bit more urgency for the Cardinals, and here's the reason why. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals, if we do move off of Byron Murphy and we allow him to walk, the only real starter we have, and I'm going to use that word very, very loosely, the only real starter we have is Marco Wilson. Now, we all want him to progress, right? We all want good things for Marco Wilson, because when he does good, our Cardinals do good. But it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? Our cornerback room is absolutely depleted. Like it looks bad. Now, granted, our defensive line can also look pretty bad as well, but we also have players like, Licky Fotu as well as Rashard Lawrence. Yes, they play more the nose more than anything, like the nose and tackle more than anything, but we can move around people. And I think we would have a little bit more kind of leeway. I would rather not lose any of them, right? Like personally, I want to keep them both, but I understand the logistics. I understand the business side of it all. I truly think that both of these players are going to go with their best interest. And their best interest is to get a team that's willing to give them the most amount of money. So we'll see, right? There's a big thing coming up our way tomorrow, and we're either going to find out if Zach Allen is going to be a member of the Arizona Cardinals in 2023, as well as Byron Murphy, if they're going to be a member of the Arizona Cardinals come 2023. So as of right now, TBD. Now, we also have heard rumors about DeAndre Hopkins. There was a rumor swirling around the Twitter world that the Cowboys look to be a real suitor for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, if you didn't catch DeAndre Hopkins on the Pat McAfee show, you didn't really miss very much. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he did say that he's been spending a lot of time in Dallas for real estate, obviously working out with a lot of people that he knows over there. So being that he's spending a lot of time on Dallas, and there's a lot of kind of rumble swirling around that the idea of him possibly going to the Dallas Cowboys might seem a little real. It could be a real possibility that he can get traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, there's other teams that can definitely use the services. The Chicago Bears, the moment that they traded for DJ Moore, I think that kind of went away. But I can name 3 or 4 other teams that can use the services of DeAndre Hopkins. Now, the only reason why I brought up DeAndre Hopkins is because I was not told, but I heard rumors about if the Cardinals are going to move off of DeAndre Hopkins, it's either going to be tomorrow or Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, tomorrow or Tuesday. That's going to be the time where the Cardinals are going to decide, are you staying with us or are you leaving? So we're going to get a lot of news tomorrow. I truly feel like if we're going to find out, right, the biggest rumor, the biggest storyline heading into this year is if DeAndre Hopkins is staying or if he's not, we're going to find out sooner rather than later. So put your seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your post notification bell is on this channel, as well as subscribe if this is your first time here. We're going to get a lot of news tomorrow. I can only imagine that we're going to be dropping so many videos. We might be going live as well tomorrow as well, because it's the start of the tampering period. And we've seen some crazy things happen. So not only will we be talking about NFL or Cardinals news, we'll also be reacting to NFL news. We're going to get a lot of crazy things happening. So definitely make sure you have your post notification bell on as well on YouTube. Smack the like button and subscribe as well. So yeah. We are going to be getting into free agency here pretty soon. I'm just allowing a lot more people to kind of chime in here so we can create the discussion. But we are going to be diving into how much we have in cap, as well as who I would want the Arizona Cardinals to reach out to. I did tell you guys a little earlier, we have about $34 million in cap. It sounds like a lot, right? But it can go like this. It can go like that, especially if you're picking up free agents. So we'll dive into that here pretty soon. Somebody in the chat says Hopkins equals 2 second-round picks from the Colts. Well, let me pitch you guys to this. Let me pitch you guys this real quick. There was a rumor out there, and I'm not sure how you guys feel about this, but we all know that our offensive line is depleted, right? I don't think it takes, I don't think it's going to be, what I'm saying is that I don't think everybody knows that our offensive line is depleted, right? We have about 2 pieces or maybe even 1 piece. We don't know if Kelvin Beacham's coming back. We don't. We got DJ Humphries, and that's pretty much it. Everybody's unknown. That are free agents. So very, very depleted. But let me pitch you guys this scenario. There is a center that might be available, and it's going to be this guy right here. Ryan Kelly is set to either be traded or released. He's a former Pro Bowl center from the Colts. A former Pro Bowl center from the Colts. Ryan Kelly has been reportedly to be on the trade block, and I'm curious to figure out if you guys are interested to possibly get this individual. Now, granted, Ryan Kelly right now is 29 years old, so he's not young, but he's not like old, right? Now, we might be biting ourselves in the foot if we did go this route. And the only reason why I pitched this is because there is the Colts that we talked about yesterday, with the possibility of them wanting our 3rd overall and us wanting their 4th, or, kind of doing that little switcheroo. That might be open for discussion as well, right? For the Cardinals to possibly do something like this, right? To maybe have him put into the package. So like, let's say, for example, the Colts won our 3rd and we move to the 4th. If Ryan Kelly is a part of that and we still get a pick to accumulate more picks, I think that would be a cool thing to do if the Arizona Cardinals were to do something like that. Now, if Ryan Kelly is going to be set to be released, obviously I would rather him be released as opposed to trade for him, because I do think that there is some centers in this this draft that I'm very interested in. So it's kind of no harm on our backs, right? It's kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, you take it or you leave it, right? But I think it's kind of interesting to figure out if Ryan Kelly will be released. Obviously, I would rather wait for him to be released, but if the Cardinals are really, really interested in a Ryan Kelly, they can possibly put him in a package to move to the 4th spot while the Colts take our 3rd, and we can kind of have our center for the next 2 or 3 years, obviously depending on health, right? Depending on health more than anything. So I'm not sure what a package like that would look like for the Colts, but I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be kind of cool. You can get your center, because let's be honest, Ronnie Hudson's not coming back. That man is as good as gone. He collected his bag and he's dipping. He's gone, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. Unless Billy Price ain't going to cut it. Sean Harlow is not going to cut it. So I think of a former Pro Bowler like a Ryan Kelly. I think that'll be kind of interesting. I think it'll be kind of interesting. Now, I haven't heard any rumors that the Cardinals are interested in him, but I do know the Colts might be in panic mode, or at least the fans that I know might be in panic mode, pertaining to, wanting to get that 3rd overall spot from the Cardinals. And right now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting in a very, very pretty spot, sitting at the 3rd overall. So just kind of a pitch, right? I'm not saying we need to do this. I don't think we need to. If he is going to get released, obviously that's something that I would rather wait for as opposed to trading for him. I think that would be more ideal as opposed to, trading for him. Well, let me get to this contribution. What's up, 50? Yo, appreciate you. He says, how much cap if DeAndre Hopkins is gone? I'm glad you asked this. Because I was doing a little research earlier today. And here's the situation right now. Let me take a sip of this water. Here's the situation that we're in. So DeAndre Hopkins right now, his cap in the 2023 season, do you know how much it is? Do y'all know how much it is? The cap for DeAndre Hopkins is upwards of $30 million right now. Well, it's $29,988 to be fair. It's not quite $30 million, but right now his cap hit for the Arizona Cardinals is $29 million plus, close to $30 million this year alone. So if the Arizona Cardinals were to trade him, right? If the Arizona Cardinals were to trade, because we're not going to cut him, right? Like that's dumb. The Cardinals aren't going to cut DeAndre Hopkins. If the Cardinals were to trade or cut him, I think it really, really determines if we trade him before June 1st or we trade him after June 1st. Now, I've heard some situations where a trade happened before, but it wasn't set to take place until after June 1st. Now, there's a big difference. If DeAndre Hopkins does get traded before June 1st, it's close to $9 million of open cap savings. Now, we take a big hit. We have dead money of like $21 million. Now, please keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Cardinal fans don't see this. Michael Bidwell, the GM, sees this. The front office sees this, right? So there's dead money hit of upwards of $19 million for DeAndre Hopkins if he were to get traded pre-June 1st. But our cap savings does open up, and that's close to $9 million in cap for DeAndre Hopkins to go away. Now, if the trade were to happen post-June 1st, the dead money would be $10.5 million, and our cap savings would be 19.5 or close to $19.5 million. Crazy. So I think it's a no-brainer that DeAndre Hopkins, right? I think we're trying to unload a lot of these contracts that we have, these big contracts that we have here for the Arizona Cardinals. Because if you really take a look at the bracket, right, the top tier people that are getting paid as much as that they're getting paid, DeAndre Hopkins is at the very top of the list. DeAndre Hopkins' cap number or cap hit is close to $30 million. Budda Baker is close to $17 million. We got Kyler Murray. Right now, this year, it's not very much. This year, Kyler Murray's cap is only $16 million. So after this year, next year is when it's going to start getting really, really bad for the Cardinals. Really, really bad. So Kyler Murray this coming year is $16 million. Marquise Hollywood Brown is $13 million. Zach Ertz is $12 million. And then we got some other people right below them that are around the $12 million. And it kind of has like a big drop off right after like Zaven Collins, right? Rodney Hudson, that type of stuff. So a big drop off for the Arizona Cardinals pertaining to the cap, but there would be a good amount of savings. I have seen some occasions where trades get done, like the announcement gets done, but it's set to take place after June 1st, just because of the way contracts are actually negotiated. That might be a real thing. So we'll see. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins on our roster, we got $34 million, and that's including Marcus Golden being released. Now, if you think about it, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're the top 7 team that has the most cap space. We have the Bears, the Falcons, the Raiders, the Texans, the Bengals, the Broncos, and then us, the Cardinals. We have the most cap space. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we only have $34 million. It's absolutely nuts. So great question, though. The great question there. If we do get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, I think it will help us because there's a lot of pieces for the Arizona Cardinals to really kind of start building within. This roster is very, very bad. This roster is very bad, especially depth-wise. We're very top-heavy, but depth-wise, we're not very good at all. So, yeah, a lot to unfold there. A lot to unfold. So let's dive right into this. Let's talk about free agency, right? I think that's what we're all here for. Let's move on over to free agency frenzy, which the official tampering period does start tomorrow. Let me say that for the people in the back. Tomorrow is the start of the official tampering period for the NFL for the big announcements to come out. Yes, you heard me well. Free agency, the actual date starts on Wednesday, but we can very well hear news tomorrow or Tuesday. So make sure you have your post notification bell on or follow me on all my social platforms, which is going to be in the description of this video to be fully up to date on what's happening with everything Cardinals. We'll find out here pretty soon. So here's where we're at right now. The Arizona Cardinals are sitting with $34 million in cap. And like I said a little earlier, it sounds like a lot, right? It does sound like a lot of money. We're within the top 7, within the top 7 highest cap within the the NFL. The only people before us is the Bears, the Falcons, the Raiders, the Texans, the Bengals, and the Broncos, and then we're right after them with 34 million because of the release of Marcus Golden. Who is a player you guys want? Who is a player you guys want? That's a question for you guys. And I'm going to give you my spiel on who I want the Arizona Cardinals to reach out and get. Now, please keep in mind, the way that I'm going to be looking into this is the way that I hope you guys look into this as well, right? Big needs. What do the Arizona Cardinals need? The Arizona Cardinals need to bolster up the trenches on both sides of the trenches. And I'm talking about offensive line and defensive line. We need help, especially if Zach Allen doesn't come back. We need help. Our offensive line looks depleted. We need help. So trenches is number one key in my mind. And I'm talking about both offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Also, cornerback, huge, especially if Byron Murphy doesn't come back, huge. Now, I feel a little bit more confident if Byron Murphy doesn't come back because there is a few people in the free agency market that I would love the Cardinals to go after and reach, and not reach, but after and get them. So cornerback is another position. Now, I didn't think of this position until this whole news of DeAndre Hopkins. Wide receiver might be a real possibility for the Arizona Cardinals to reach after. Now, granted, this free agency market for the wide receivers isn't very good, right? It isn't very good. Now, there was a report that came out yesterday or the day before saying that Odell Beckham Jr. was working out for multiple teams because he's a free agent, right? He had a terrible injury. There was rumors that he was going to try to join a Super Bowl team and it never happened. He wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. But the Arizona Cardinals were involved in his workout for Odell Beckham Jr. Now, granted, the workout was here in Phoenix. So, I mean, it's not like we went out of our way to go out there, right? Now, obviously, Odell Beckham is a huge name out there, but I do think that the wide receiving core needs to be something that needs to be addressed. So trenches, Number one key, right? Trenches is key. Cornerback, key. Wide receiver, not as big of a need. I do think it's a need, especially if we get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Now, obviously, the wide receiver is with the understanding that we're getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins. And to me, I think he's as good as gone. I know there's something within me, and I really, truly feel like tomorrow or Tuesday, we're really going to get our answer if he's going to stay or if he's not going to stay. I think he's leaving, personally. It's only for the best interest for the Cardinals to move off of DeAndre Hopkins because of money and rebuilding the roster. So those are the key pieces that I would want. Now, here are some players that I want to kind of pitch your guys' way. Now, obviously, when we're looking at the list of players or free agents that are going to be available, right? We see the top of it and we're like, oh my God, look at these people. There's Orlando Brown, I want him. Jamel Dean, I want him. Marcus Davenport, I want him. Bobby Wagner, I want him, right? Like, and you can kind of go down the list and say all these people that you want, right? Now, obviously, those guys would be huge, right? Jamel Dean would be a dream. He's only 26 years old, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's got a ring already, right? So, obviously, that would be a dream. Now, I think I'm going to take this approach a little differently. I want to kind of go down to a level where we can get more value for our buck. Now, there's been a lot of people talking about the idea of getting a James Bradberry, right? Now, at one point, James Bradberry was a guy that I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to reach out before he moved to the Eagles. And it still hasn't changed my mind. I truly think that the Arizona Cardinals, if they were to get somebody like James Bradberry, would be huge. Now, please keep in mind that James Bradberry right now is 30 years old. He's 30. So he's not a spring chicken. And what I mean by that, he's not young. So the idea of bringing him in, it would be possibly a 2 to 3 year deal, right? Something like that. I mean, I don't think he would be overly expensive because of his age. Now, granted, yes, he obviously was a part of a winning defense. It's a big thing. Now, actually, I don't think he's 30 here. I think he's actually 29. I apologize. I think he's 29. He's got to be 30 the start of this next year. I apologize. I'm not trying to age him. So he's 29. He's going to be 30, I think, at the start of the NFL season. The idea of James Bradberry sounds a little intriguing, right? It wouldn't be so expensive. It would be kind of cool. I think that's an idea. And obviously the link between him and Jonathan Gannon because of the Eagles sounds pretty interesting. Now, let me pitch you somebody else real quick. Rock Ya-Sin. Now, I get it. Not a big name out there. Not a guy that a lot of people really know too much about. But a guy that's 27 years old, played with the Vegas Raiders. I know, I get it. We got Trayvon Mullen from the Raiders, and he didn't really work out for us. I understand that. But Rock Ya-Sin, to me, I think he's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting guy. 6 foot, 190 pounds, 26 years old, got picked up in the second round to the Indianapolis Colts, obviously got traded to the Raiders. I think he's a player that we can possibly go after. Now, I see people in the chat say young. Here's the problem with young. The problem is that if we go young, you're going to be paying that money. And I think we're going to be dealing with a situation where we're in a rebuild, right? We're in a rebuild. We want to win still. But if you're trying to go after the big names out there, the top names, and like I said, Orlando Brown, I would love it. Jamel Dean, I would love it. But you got to pay that money. And is that what the Cardinals are going to do? Like, that's the biggest question, right? Right now, I'm just kind of giving you the names that are under the radar that I think it might be pretty interesting. Now, if the Cardinals go a different route, hey, I'm down, right? I mean, whatever helps us out. I know Javon Hargrave is a name that people kind of throw out there because he did also play with the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. He's 30 years old too, though, right? He's up there in age. So there's a lot of these people out here that you can get on a 2-year, maybe 3-year deal because of the situation that we're in right now. And the situation that we're in right now is that we're a rebuilding team. We're trying to get back on top of the West. That's where we're at. That's where we're at as an organization as of right now. So I think that would be pretty interesting. I think Rock Ya-Sin would be interesting. And here's the reason why. Cheap. right? I don't think he would be very expensive. I think it would be pretty cheap. Now, let's take a look at the list here. There's a few other people that I really liked as well. For wide receiver, DJ Chark was pretty interesting to me. I liked him in Jacksonville. When he went to Detroit, I didn't really work out for him there. But I did like DJ Chark in Jacksonville. He's 26 years old, pretty young. Now, there are some people saying Adam Thielen for the wide receiver. He's 33. You're not going to be getting young Adam Thielen. Let's just say that if the Cardinals were to go that route. But it does fit the narrative if the Arizona Cardinals were to go the route of, hey, let's do a 1 to 2 year type of deal, right? Let's try to compete, but we all know deep down we're not going to go anywhere type of thing, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, I think right now the Arizona Cardinals are definitely in a really weird situation. But there's a good amount of people. Like if you take a look at this list here, there's a good amount of people on this list. Not wide receivers. I'm not the wide receiving core or the market this year doesn't look very good. So if we do lose DeAndre Hopkins, it does suck because we're like, okay, who will replace him? We're gonna probably be chilling with a lot of players under 5'11" for our wide receivers, unless we actually take a flyer on somebody later in the rounds, like a Mingo from Ole Miss. So there's a good amount of people on this list, honestly. And the cornerbacks, a lot of cornerbacks. So I think the Arizona Cardinals can possibly land somebody pretty darn good. Let's see what the chat's saying. Adam Thielen is still. Oh, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to get Adam Thielen like Vikings days, early day Adam Thielen, but I still think productive he is. And he probably would be on the cheap as well. Now, here's the understanding that the Arizona Cardinals are going to go the route of either A, they're going to go young, but keep in mind, if they go young, we might be getting about 2 or 3 players because that cap's going to go like this. It's going to go like that if we go young. And I'm cool with going young. Either way the Cardinals decide to go, I'm cool with. But please keep in mind that Kyler Murray's contract this year in 2023 is probably the best time. And I mean the best time for the Arizona Cardinals to at least try one more time. Kyler Murray's cap hit this year is 16 mil. After this year, in 2024 and 2025 and beyond, it is ridiculous how much his cap hit is. Now, yes, the cap is a myth. I'm fully aware of that. But that's still a lot of freaking money hitting towards the cap. A lot of money hitting towards the cap. So this might be the 1 year that the Arizona Cardinals can possibly try to go for it one more time. I know that the idea of them going for one more time sounds really dumb, and I get it. But this would be the year that you should have done it if it didn't happen the way that it happened, right? So got somebody in the chat says, keep Hop. Here's the thing. I don't think it's up. I don't think it's... I understand where people are coming from. I truly, truly do. I think DeAndre Hopkins is as good as gone. And I know it hurts people's feelings because he's probably one of the best players we have. But DeAndre Hopkins is not going to win a Super Bowl in this organization next year. Let's be honest. He's not. He's not. Unless something completely crazy happens and the Arizona Cardinals are in contention and actually hitting the playoffs, and then we're talking about something completely different. But, going through a brand new regime, our roster looks completely depleted, right? Thanks to our old GM, didn't really do very much for depth, got a lot of big stars, but kind of neglected every other position outside the big, the stars under them. So we'll see. We'll see. Somebody on the chat says Lazard, Brown, Moore. Like, honestly, Lazard doesn't sound bad. And to me, if you really truly think about it, Alan Lazard, I don't think he's going to get that big of a contract. I mean, maybe he might. He's 27 years old, played for the Green Bay Packers, but he really hasn't done very much. But I guess if you think about it, Christian Kirk is kind of not similar player. So don't get me twisted. I'm not saying there's a similar player, but what I'm saying is that we might be surprised, right? Because Christian Kirk, I didn't think Christian Kirk was going to get that money, and he got it. Good for him, right? Good for him. Adam Lazard might be one of those players as well that I don't think he's going to get a big payday, but he might. But I do like that idea. I think Adam Lazard will actually be pretty cool. Would be pretty cool. But if we're talking about trenches, I mean, you got to go probably with the best guy out there, right? Orlando Brown. Not only that, What about this? What about this, y'all? Jawan Taylor. What about that? Jawan Taylor played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 25 years old. Jawan Taylor. I mean, there's actually some people out there saying that Jawan Taylor is going to get paid, whether it was the Jacksonville Jaguars or not. He's going to get paid. Pretty interesting. Jawan Taylor, I think would be actually pretty darn cool. I think would be actually pretty darn cool because trenches we need to address, right? Kyler Murray, when he comes back, he needs to be held upright. I think that would be a pretty cool player for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly go after. Now, there's also Andre Dillard, also played for the Philadelphia Eagles, 27 years old, might also get a big payday as well because of his, being young. Wasn't Griffin just released right by the Jacksonville Jaguars as well? So we got some people. We got some definitely people to obviously address here. Here we go. Second contribution of the day. What's up, Michael? Appreciate the contribution, man. He says, Mike, I said young because thinking of the future, hope we play young guys, need to teach them this. No, that's true. No, I mean, you're 100% right. You are 100% right there, my guy. Honestly, you're right. If you were the GM, I would not question this move. I think young is the way to go. I 100% agree. Now, to me, the only reason why I say maybe the Cardinals might go the other route, and I mean maybe getting some players that are going to be those 2 or 3 year deals, those older type players, because that's just what we've been doing, right? That's the Steve Keim era. And I think I got to get that out of my mind because we're no longer in the Steve Keim era. We're in the Monty Austin era. And I think I'm trying to get that out of my mind. But I agree with you. I think young is the way to go, right? Get those guys that are the eye of the tiger type of guys, right? The guys that want to be on this team, that want to be great. I agree. That's exactly what I want the Arizona Cardinals to do. But I think Jawan Taylor sounds fan-freaking-tastic. I think he sounds fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, we got a Jags fan up in here right now. We got a Jags fan up in here. Jags fan in the chat. Jawan Taylor. Give me a little insight on how you feel about Jawan Taylor. Let me know in the chat. He also did say you don't want Griffin. Trust me. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, honestly, at this very moment, all we really have is Marco Wilson. Like, let's be honest. Our cornerbacks, if we don't bring Byron Murphy back, is depleted. Is depleted. Is done. Is depleted. So although Griffin might not be the best suited out there, we don't really got any better options unless the Cardinals truly do go somewhere deep into this free agency class and do something different. I'm excited. Is anybody else excited for free agency, or am I the only foolish optimistic guy here in the Arizona Cardinal fan base right now? Am I the only guy that's very excited? I'm excited about tomorrow. Truly. If you are, fire emoji in the comments below. I'm excited about it. I truly am. I think the Arizona Cardinals can really make some splashes. Truly. Somebody says Chase Edmonds returned to AZ. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And honestly, with the thought of Kelvin Beachum, although yes, I want Kelvin Beachum to come back. Let's be honest, y'all. Do you think Kelvin Beachum's coming back? Now, I don't think what Kelvin Beachum said was not so much like a knock on Kyler Murray, but with all the narratives out there, with all the hate that Kyler Murray is getting, it didn't help the situation, right? I don't know if Kelvin Beachum's coming back. Do I want him back? Hell yeah, I like Kelvin Beachum. I like Beach. I truly do. I think he's a great player. He's a great locker room guy. I think he's a great veteran. I want Kelvin Beachum back, but I don't know if he's gonna come back. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm excited about free agency. Truly. I don't think Beach sucked that bad. Well, think about it. I mean, our whole offensive line was terrible. I mean, it's kind of hard to say one person sucked because all of them were bad. Like, our center was never, like, Rodney Hudson, when he was there and he wanted to play and he was good. But when Rodney Hudson wasn't there, Sean Harlow, poo, right? What is the other guy? Billy Price, poo, right? Justin Pugh, when he lost all the weight, wasn't the same. Who else was the other guy on that? Will Hernandez. There's some people in the chat that like him. I'm not big. Like, I'm not so high on him, but I mean, we're kind of weird in those situation where we're kind of stuck with him if we do decide to bring him back. But okay, here we go. He says Jawan Taylor has been up and down, but I don't blame him after bad coaching staff. This year he did step up. By the way, just sports employees confirm new units for the Cards. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, we got the we've heard some rumors about this year being the year. I know that I have a subscriber that subscribed to this channel that said that he kind of, yeah, I was already kind of hinted that this is going to be the year that the Arizona Cardinals were going to get new uniforms, whether it was Cliff Kingsbury coming into this new era or anything else. Now, none of us like this Bird City football hashtag. I think we all think it's garbage, right? We all think it's poop. But we do know that with that new look, there was going to be some new unis coming in, and I better bet you on bottom dollar better be a new helmet, because there's going to be a brand new helmet coming into the showcase once we get it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. Yeah, I heard the same thing, that we are going to be getting some new uniforms this year. It's going to be the year, so I'm stoked. Yes, Deron Payne is gone. Yes, the Commanders did what they should have done. Deron Payne would have been the best thing to happen to the Arizona Cardinals since Swiss cheese. Like, it would have been great. Like, I would have allowed Zach Allen to leave happily if we got Deron Payne. If we got Deron Payne and drafted Will Anderson, and then have either Majay or Cam Thomas or Victor Dimikichi, defensive line fixed in my mind. But yeah, Deron Payne was franchise tagged by the Commanders, unfortunately. So he's no longer available. He was the number one guy that I wanted over Hargraves on a heartbeat. And that's not a knock on Hargraves at all. I think Hargraves is good. I wanted Hargraves before he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, now thinking about it, most people that went to the Philadelphia Eagles, I wanted the Cardinals to sign. So, like, Bradbury, I wanted him. Hargraves, I wanted him. So it's like, if you just listen to the sports fan here, right? The easy sports fan, you know how to build a damn team, because that defense looked really darn good. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, you got to get the right people. You got to get the right people. But yeah, unfortunately, Deron Payne is gone. Let's see here. Yeah, quarterback is another big one too, right? We might be getting our quarterback of our backup quarterback. Let's see what the cap hit for Colt McCoy is. Let's see what Colt McCoy looks like here, because now that you guys are saying that, y'all, if we get rid of Colt McCoy, let me do a little research here real quick. We can save $1.5 million if we get rid of Colt McCoy, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, open it up. If Colt McCoy ends up getting cut, retires, or leaves, or gets cut, I guess that's the main thing. If he gets cut, we can save about $1.5 million. It isn't very much, so maybe it might not be a smart thing to do it. But I mean, if we are going to be getting somebody like Jacoby Brissett, because I see somebody in the chat saying that. I see somebody saying Gardner Minshew as well. I like the idea of Baker Mayfield, but of course, the Bucs are interested in him. There was a rumor came out today that the Bucs might be interested in him. So, as a starting quarterback, and let's be honest, he's not going to be a starter here, so he might favor that. But Jacoby Brissett obviously is a name to look out for because of the link with Petzing. Yeah, but I mean, quarterbacks, right? That's also another thing to talk about. Quarterbacks. Who's going to be the guy to bridge Kyler Murray? We also mentioned the idea of Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz is good. I think he's done. I truly do. But if the Cardinals do go after him, hey, let's see what he can do, right? I mean, it's kind of one of those situations. Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's done too. Jameis Winston, done. Sam Darnold, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with Sam Darnold, but I think he's done too. Mike White, interesting. But Baker Mayfield, I feel like, to me, Jacoby Brissett and Baker Mayfield would be ideal. I feel like that would be ideal. Somebody says, I want Drew Lock. Interesting. I think Drew Lock is still under contract with the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. He might not be, though. He might not be. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know what's happening with the Seahawks. Let's take a look. Let's do a little research. Let's see here. I think Drew Lock still with the. I think the Seahawks still have ties to him, though. In 2019, he signed a 4-year contract with Denver. So 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, no. Yeah, he might be. He was sent to Seattle in 2022 as part of the blockbuster trade. Let's take a look at his contract. He might be available, to be honest with you. No, he is available. Oh, yeah. He's an unrestricted free agent. Oh, look at you. Look at you go. Okay. Unrestricted free agent he is. Here we go. Hulk Smash coming up here with the contribution. What's up, Hulk Smash? Appreciate you, man. He says, would you want Derek? Oh. Don't get me started on Derrick Henry. Oh, my God. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh, Derrick Henry would be so freaking cool. That would be so freaking cool. And that would change this offense dramatically. And I get it. It's not going to happen. And I don't want to psych myself up. And I might have psyched up some people, but that would be, oh my God, that would be amazing. Granted, he's 29 years old. He's getting up there. The idea of running backs don't last very long in the NFL is pretty true. He's 29. He's going to be 30 next year. And not in the NFL season, but like in the postseason. So he's 29 right now. He just turned it in January the 4th. But man, that would be crazy. And if you really think about it, Derrick Henry, although what we know right now, the Titans, there was rumors that the Titans want to get rid of him, that they're willing to trade away Derrick Henry. Being that he's a running back, being that he's almost 30, he might be very cheap. He might be very, 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 very cheap. He might be very, very cheap. And I mean a possible 6th rounder. I mean a possible 5th rounder. That's how cheap it is. And it's crazy, right? Because one of the best running backs that we've seen going for that cheap, you know, it might be something that we can get. But I mean, what does his contract look like? That's what we should be looking at. What's his contract look like? Like, what's his cap hit? 2023. Let's see. Cap hit 16. Oh, well, that's the thing. $16 million. So ideally, the thought of Derrick Henry sounds cool, but the contract is way too much. 16 mil? Nah, bro. Unless the Titans are willing to take that, nah. I didn't look at his contract, but now that I looked at his contract, 16 mil, it's too much for a running back. And on top of that, we got James Conner, right? So I want the Cardinals to go another running back in the draft too. We got James Conner, we got Ingram, Keontae Ingram, and then I really do want somebody to get drafted in the later rounds of the draft too. So I agree. Too much in caps. Yeah, too much in cap. Yeah, but the idea of Derrick Henry sounds great, but it's a dream. It's a dream more than anything. So let's see here. Let's keep it going with the chat here. Way too much for a running back. No, I agree there. Once I saw that, I agree. Too much money. Drew Lock is available though. He is an unrestricted free agent, so that's interesting. He's not in the top 100, so that's probably why I didn't notice that he was available. But I just, there's something in me that I truly feel like Colt McCoy is not coming back. There's something in me that truly feels like Colt McCoy is not going to be, or he might come back, but he's not going to be the backup quarterback, is what I feel. Somebody says, D-Hop contract for Henry. Here's the thing, like DeAndre Hopkins' contract is just way too much. Like it's like $30 million. Derrick Henry's contract is 16 mil. So yes, there would be a $14 million difference, but like we don't get it. Like it's not like, oh, it's $14 million. We have $14 million to spend, right? Like that's the difference. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If the Cardinals were to release, and I said this a little earlier, let me kind of say it again for the people in the back that just kind of chimed in. DeAndre Hopkins' cap hit for the Arizona Cardinals is $30 million this year, 30 mil. If we do decide to release him pre-June 1st, we save $8 million. Close to $9 million in cap, so we can actually spend some money. But if we actually trade him, I said cut. I meant trade. I apologize. I meant trade him. If we trade him pre-June 1st, we save about 9 mil in cap, and that's what we can use. If we trade him post-June 1st, we save about close, it's like 19.5. So getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins is for the best interest of the Arizona Cardinals. It truly is. And I know it sucks. Trust me, it sucks. What's up, AZ fan? He says, a lot of Eagles and Titans players coming here. I can see that. I can see that, truly. I can definitely see that, truly. Because of obviously Jonathan Gannon, obviously Monty Ossenfort, right? I can definitely see that. I mean, that's definitely a good take right there. We got some more people coming in here. I'm curious to figure out what the new people are saying about this. I pitched this to the people that were here earlier in the stream. I'm curious to figure out all the new people that are sitting here right now. There was rumors and speculations, or actually not rumors and speculations, but the Colts actually have Ryan Kelly on the trade block. Now, he is a former Pro Bowl center, Ryan Kelly, that's, I believe, 29 years old last time I looked. Is anybody interested in a package for Ryan Kelly if the Colts wanted to move to 3, the Cardinals move back to 4, and we also get Ryan Kelly and also, I'm assuming, some picks, maybe a 3rd rounder, maybe something like that, whatever the Colts are willing to kind of offer. But this could kind of help out our center position. Anybody interested in a possible trade for a Ryan Kelly, a former Pro Bowler from the Colts? And let's be honest, the Colts might be in panic mode. So this might be one of those situations, ladies and gentlemen. This might be one of those situations that we're going to be dealing with, getting our center, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. Now, granted, yes, I want the Cardinals to draft the center too, right? I want the Cardinals to draft the center, but it can kind of help out if that's the route the Cardinals wanted to take. But let's take a look at Ryan Kelly's contract. Ryan Kelly's contract right now, his cap hit is 12 mil. It's a lot. 12 mil. So it's about $12 million in his cap. Next year is going to be $14 million. But if you think about it, a center with 7 years of experience, a former first-round pick picked up in the 18th overall in 2016 out of Alabama. I mean, it's possible, right? It's possible. I got some people in the chat says he's not good. Some people said do it. I don't know if I like this. What will he cost? Somebody says pass. No, this is a Steve Kine type of deal. Pass. Okay. So far, more people are saying no than yes, but this might be somebody that can be thrown in the package. Like what would we have to lose? Like, let's say, for example, the Arizona Cardinals and the Colts do decide to trade, right? Like, let's say we do. I guess we do have something to lose, and that's cap. Yeah, I guess never mind. Yeah, we have cap space to lose. So yeah, I mean, maybe younger is the right way to go, right? You're John Michael Schmidt, right? Maybe something like that to get him the bumps and bruises. Luke Weipler, right? Something like that. Joe Tippmann out of the draft. Maybe going younger is the best way to go. Let's see here. What do you think about the Lamar Jackson to the Commanders news? I thought that was not real. I thought that was fake. I know Adam Schefter said it. Is that what you're talking about when Adam Schefter said it? I thought that was fake. I don't think that was real. But honestly, with the idea of the what is it called? The non-exclusive franchise tag for the Ravens. This could either hurt. This could either be very good for the Ravens or bite Ravens in the butt. Honestly, this can either be very good for the Ravens or bite the Ravens in the butt. We'll see. Now, they have the ability to match it. But honestly, it just really depends on what other team is willing to want the services of Lamar Jackson. So we'll see. Somebody in the chat says Ben Jones from the Tennessee Titans and draft a center. Let's take a look at Ben Jones here. Ben Jones. Let's see here. Titans part ways. So they did release Ben Jones. Titans moving away from Ben Jones. Yeah, I mean, how old is he? Yeah, he's up there. 33 years old. But yeah, I mean, if the idea is get him, but also the idea is also draft one, I think I'm game for that. I think I'm game for that because if you can allow him to do the 2 or 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, if he's doing very good, and then our center comes in to help out, I think that is a dream made in heaven, to be honest with you. Somebody in the chat says if Snyder takes Lamar Jackson, he can get him a guaranteed money. Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure Snyder is going to be the owner of the Commanders. Like, true, like, there's rumors out there that they're going through a sell of the Commanders. Now, granted, it's not official unless it's pen to paper, right? But I don't know if Snyder's even going to be the guy over there. Truly, Ben Jones 1-year deal. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind that. This free agency and draft will be crazy. Oh, I agree. AZ fan, what's factual? No, this is absolutely true, man. To be honest with you, it is going to be crazy. I'm excited. Honestly, for the people that aren't excited, I don't know. Like, regardless if this is going to be a rebuild mode or not, it's still exciting. It's exciting to get new players. Free agency starting up. We got the draft, which is going to be exciting. We're sitting at the 3rd overall spot with the possibility of being in the driver's seat to trade back to the Colts, to possibility to get Will Anderson still. This is going to be a great time for Cardinals in this offseason. The people that aren't excited, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where those guys are. But, I mean, if we move off of D-Hop, it's only going to help us in the long run. Not this year, probably, but it's going to help us out in the long run. If we can get somebody in the draft, big, tall, wide receiver, and if he works out for us, let's go, right? It only works out for the Cardinals here at the end of the day. Ramsey's gone. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's not a doubt in my mind. I do host another channel called the NFC West Network, where we do a roundtable when we talk to everybody. Rams fan, obviously I'm the Cardinals fan, 49ers fan, as well as the Seahawks fan. Ramsey's gone. Whether it's to the Fins or not, Ramsey's gone. Ramsey's gone, man. It's just he went to LA. But honestly, I think Miami's his vibe. Honestly, I think he would like the lifestyle of Miami, truly. Yeah, he's gone. I'm not sure 100% if it's the Fins, but that would be crazy for them. He's gone for sure. He's definitely gone. Wait, did it happen already? Am I going through breaking news right now and I didn't know this? Give me a second, y'all. Let me jump on Twitter here real quick. Oh, wait. The Dolphins have traded Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb. Wait. Whoa, wait, there is breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news coming out of the world of the NFL, not Cardinals related. I apologize. Thank you so very much, everybody. Wow. And here's the thing. I was like, this man is gone. This man is as good as gone. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news coming out of the world of the NFL has nothing to do with the Cardinals. Well, has to do with the Cardinals because he's in the NFC West. We no longer have to deal with Jalen Ramsey. Chat it up in the fire emoji in the comments below. Ian Rappaport came out and says this. Sources, the Rams are in talks to trade all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. A blockbuster. Woo-wee! Wow. That is insane. I appreciate you. I apologize. I apologize there, Bryce. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me a question, how I feel about it. Woo! Thanks. Next time, maybe put like breaking news in that because I thought it was more of a question. Wow. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. This is coming out from Ian Rappaport saying this sources, the Rams are in talks to trade all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. And now we don't have to deal with Jalen Ramsey here in the NFC West. Let's go. That is crazy. How are you guys feeling about this? Wow. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this started. This is only the start, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Trust me when I say this. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. I can only imagine. DeAndre Hopkins gets traded, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine DeAndre Hopkins gets traded. Not only that, but we got free agency. And then we got the draft in about 6 weeks. Oh, we got some football news coming back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a contribution coming from No F's Given. He says, Cardinal staff have been seen at the... Yes, we talked about this earlier in the stream. The only thing that I'm going to say to this is that OBJ lives in Arizona. So the workout was close. Like, I don't feel like the Arizona Cardinals truly went out of their way for this. You know what I mean? I don't think they truly went out of their way. Now, obviously, it's in their backyard. They're going to go. But I don't know if the Cardinals really have interest. If they do, okay, interesting. That's going to be crazy. But yes, he was. They were at the workout. Yes, he was. D-Hop going to the Patriots. Dude, I feel it. Honestly, I think the Patriots are a real suitor. That and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have been. I think it's getting louder. I think it's getting louder to me, anyways. Interesting. Thank you guys for the breaking news. I did not know. Interesting. Jalen Ramsey is now out of the NFC West. We no longer have to deal with them. No longer have to deal with Jalen Ramsey here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. There's implications going on. The Rams are blowing it up, y'all. The Rams are blowing it up. Got some people in the chat says, buy Ramsey. Facts. Honestly, I think Dallas is a real suitor for DeAndre Hopkins. Truly. I know people don't want to think it, but I think Dallas is a real suitor for DeAndre Hopkins. This man's been spending so much time in Dallas. So much time in Dallas. Now, what is Dallas willing to give? That's going to be a question for we'll see. Is Jerry Jones willing to pay? We'll see, right? Because D-Hop isn't cheap. D-Hop is not cheap at all. Wow. Okay. I'm just in shell shock right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm truly in shell shock right now about this breaking news coming out of the world of the NFL right now that the Rams are in talks to trade All-Pro center Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. Okay. This is only the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. The tip of the iceberg. Tomorrow is going to be when the news opens up. Hell, we might even get news later on today. Make sure you have your post notification bell on. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you whatever. Follow me on my social platforms. It is going to be big, y'all. Big news coming out the next couple days. Make sure you're fully aware and up to date on everything that's going on. Cardinals, everything that's going on in the NFL. I think we're going to be doing a lot of streaming tomorrow. I think we're going to be doing a lot of kind of talking back and forth, opening it up to you guys and seeing what's up. So, all right, guys. We're going to be closing shop here right now. I'm excited to figure out what's going to happen moving forward here for the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, rebuilding or not, right? Yes, new coaching staff or not. I'm excited. I don't care. I don't care about it. I don't care. Cardinals are going to win the West in my mind, in my crazy little mind. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to close shop here today. Thank you so very much for everybody coming through. Thank you so much for everybody smacking the like button, everybody for subscribing. Thank you, everybody, for super chatting, everybody for coming through. I absolutely do appreciate it. We're going to be closing shop here pretty soon. Thank you, everybody. The start of the legal tampering period does start tomorrow for the NFL. So let's go. Seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how this rebuild starts for the Arizona Cardinals. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day and go Cards.